Hi class, I wanted to give you a brief overview of our course Blackboard site and the course. When you log into our Blackboard site, you're going to be taken to the announcements section where you'll find the welcome announcement. And there are other important announcements that you should be reading through to get familiar with some of the resources that are available to you, such as a student and teacher edition of Adobe Creative Cloud. Information about how to get that is here. We are going to be working with Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop in this class, and so you do need access to Creative Cloud. Also, lynda.com, you're going to need access to that, and you can get free access to lynda.com through your public library, and I have information here about the quickest way to do that. So I do highly recommend the Illustrator Quick Start course. It's 47 minutes long. It will get you up to speed with Illustrator, and we're going to be working in Illustrator during week 4. Microsoft Office, which includes Microsoft Word, is free for Tri-C students, and there's information about how to get that here. Once you've gone through the announcements, then go to the Start Here tab, and you do need to click again. And you should be launched into our syllabus. If it does not open in a separate browser tab, then you can click on it to launch it, or you can view it directly in the in Blackboard. You can also download it, print it, but it does have links that you can. It is interactive, in other words. So there's a table of contents, and so, for example, we could go to the faculty information on the first page, and there's all kinds of information about the course. I do want to, I'm not going to go over the entire syllabus. That's for you to read on your own. But I do want to, or draw your attention to the required supplies. So one of the outcomes for this course is that you should be familiar with some of the traditional tools for graphic design or visual communication, and also with the digital tools such as Illustrator and Photoshop. So I want to mention the digital tools first. I did mention Illustrator and Photoshop, but what I want to recommend for you is that you, if you don't own one already, that you look into purchasing an external hard drive. That I do recommend that over a flash drive. If you have a flash drive, that's fine, but flash drives are prone to errors, and it's easy to lose work on a flash drive. So they are less expensive, and you can get by with that. You definitely need to make backups of your work no matter what you're using, whether it's a flash drive or an external drive. I have a 2 terabyte external drive. I think this is a Seagate, which I got on Amazon a few months ago. I think it was maybe about $50 or so. So it's definitely worth your investment, especially if this is your first visual communications course and you're planning to keep going, to go through the program and take other courses. Then you're going to want enough hard drive space, and you're going to want a stable medium, and these external drives are pretty stable. They are much more reliable than flash drives. Okay, and then there are some traditional tools, and I have a list of the minimum of what we're going to be needing in this class. And let me blow this up or enlarge this a bit so you can see. All right, so you're going to need some tracing paper. You're going to need some Sharpie markers, and I'm going to show you. If you're not sure what I mean by a Sharpie, it's this sort of thing. Okay. So you're going to need a pencil. Drafting pencils are ideal, but any sort of pencil will work. A ruler. I'm recommending a 24-inch stainless steel ruler, but aluminum ruler is acceptable. You're going to need construction paper, mat board, or poster board. You need black or very dark gray. You need an X-Acto knife with a number 11 blade, and this is an X-Acto knife with a number 11 blade. And I recommend that you purchase if you don't have one already, a self-healing cutting mat. They come in different sizes. Smaller ones are cheaper. Obviously, larger ones are more expensive. If you don't want to invest in that, just some sort of a cutting surface. You are going to be using your X-Acto knife to cut out something using the construction paper, mat board, poster board, whatever. All right, so I'm going to show you what a self-healing cutting mat looks like. This is a very large one. All right, you do not need one this large necessarily, but you know, if you're so inclined, you might want to look into purchasing one of those. Okay, so where can you get this stuff? Probably, you could definitely get these things at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You can get a self-healing cutting mat, probably, I think, at Joann Fabrics. There's Blick's on the east side, and then Amazon. You can get all of this stuff on Amazon. But I think that especially for things like tracing paper, Sharpie markers, those are things that you can just get, like just run up to Michael's and get some of that. I'm not going to go through the entire course schedule. You can do that on your own, but I do want to point out how the course is structured. So if you look at the schedule, you can see that I have, there are 14 weeks and there are 7 sections. Each section is labeled in all caps on the schedule and is outlined in a heavy black box. So each section is 2 weeks. So for example, weeks 3 and 4 is a section called Visual Perception and Communication. And week 3 contains lesson 3, Visual Perception. Week 4 contains lesson 4, what is visual communication. So at the end of each section, there's a quiz. And the quiz covers both lessons in the section. So for example, in weeks 3 and 4, the section called Visual Perception and Communication, during week 4 you'll have access to quiz number 2, which covers lessons 3 and lessons 4. If we go to Blackboard again, or go to our Blackboard site, again, and start here after you review the syllabus, there's other information here that you can click through and read, and I recommend going through all of these and reading everything. And then there is a syllabus quiz. So if you click on the syllabus quiz, or the link for the syllabus quiz, you can click to launch it. It's 5 questions. Now I recommend when you take the quiz, let's just launch the quiz. I recommend when you take the quiz or you begin it, a really easy way to make sure you get all the answers right is to have the syllabus open in another tab, and then you can refer to the syllabus to find the answers. So you should get, hopefully you'll get a 5 out of 5 that way. Also, each week, since this is an online course, we're going to connect through a discussion board. And there's a link to the week 1 discussion board. And this is a Tell Us About Yourself discussion board. So you're just going to answer some of these questions about yourself, and I am going to show you in another video how to post a picture of yourself or your pet in the text field of your discussion thread. All right, so if we look at Blackboard, the way that this is set up, currently we are in week 1, and each week a new lesson will appear in this list, and up here is the link to the discussion board. Okay, so you can find the Tell Us About Yourself discussion, and there is a link for the quizzes, and right now only the syllabus quiz is available, but next week the quiz 1 will become available, and then you can check your grades and my grades. And one thing that I did forget to mention, let me go back to week 1. Okay, so you can see in week 1 there is a folder for Lesson 1. You should explore Lesson 1, click on the links, explore the resources. I've got some videos for you to watch, some articles for you to read. Okay, there's an assignment under that that has to do with this Lesson 1 having to do with career paths. And there's some other resources from the Creative Arts Department at Tri-C. So one thing to notice is that you've got this little table of contents here, and by default these folders are open, and you can close these. So if this gets to be too much and you're trying to navigate through this table of contents, you can close these folders. Close them and open them, okay? So you can explore the resources for creative arts. And then there is a worksheet for Quiz 1. So the worksheet, let me click on that. All right, so at the beginning of each section, or the first week of each section, a quiz worksheet will be available. And on that worksheet are the questions that will be on the quiz. Okay, so what you can do is you can print this quiz out, or if you don't want to print it out or can't print it out, you can always copy and paste this text into a Word document, and then, or you could just make a list in Word. So as you go through the lessons, you're going to find the answers on the worksheet, and then go ahead and just circle the answer or put it in make a list of the correct answers in Word. And on this worksheet there are questions for Lesson 1, which corresponds with the week 1, and there's also questions for Lesson 2, which corresponds with week 2. So this week you'll use the worksheet to find answers for Lesson 1, and then next week, week 2 folder becomes available. You'll use the worksheet to find the answers for Lesson 2. And then once you have all the answers on your worksheet, then you can go ahead and take the quiz. And the quiz is taken in Blackboard. All right, and so during week 2, you will see a link for Quiz 1. Okay, so I think that is mainly what I wanted to show you in Blackboard. I should mention that there are some other school-related resources down here that you should explore as well. But I'll be looking forward to meeting you in the Tell Us About Yourself discussion post.